Welcome back everybody to a brand new video. Today we're taking a look at a team in the Fantasy Cup that I think is very, very surprising. That's going to be Fire Fang Shadow Salamence with Shadow Alolan Dugtrio. Honestly, the most annoying Pokemon in the entire meta, and of course, Azumarill. Fire Fang Shadow Salamence is absolutely devastating, especially against the steel types, and Shadow Scizor is the first lead of the video here. Two Fire Fangs, opponent makes a mistake of staying in, trying to see how much damage it does, and we take them down to half health before they're able to get out in time. Opponent swaps in Azumarill as their safe switch, and that means we can land a fly, get up one more Fire Fang, and then swap into our own Azumarill. So obviously, it goes without saying, we want to control switch advantage here, and getting that massive health lead on our Azumarill is going to be absolutely key. Fly actually does a ton of damage to Azumarill, way more than I thought it would, and seeing the Fire Fang Salamence just deploy in action is so sick. Play Rough is going to connect, but that's a charge tag priority tie, which means we are able to fire off ours as well. Opposing Azumarill is deep into the red. They switch into Giratina. This is actually a Giratina origin form, a little more high octane, more offensive oriented than the altered counterpart. And we do call the Shadow Ball there on the opponent. It's going to take two charge attacks regardless, so I go ahead and throw the Ice Beam here against it, but I'm a little bit worried that I won't be able to outlast this matchup, so I swap into the Shadow Alolan Dugtrio. This Pokemon is such a menace with the Mud Slaps. A Mud Bomb basically one-shots a Shadow Scizor from full health, and you will probably see that later on in the video, so stay tuned. Opponent tries to catch on their Azumarill, excuse me, and we're able to Mud Slap it down. There were some mosquitoes out here earlier, so I'm just double checking that they're not chewing my ankles. And we get a full Mud Slap down onto the Giratina altered form, or excuse me, origin form, which is really nice. Next battle against Danny's here. Danny's gonna lead Steelix. It's got Thunder Fang, I assume, and it does, but we have our Fire Fang Shadow Salamence and they bail out of there. Because we get that one Fire Fang advantage, it allows us to pace up to the Brutal Swing here against the Giratina and pull the shield. Now we can safely go into our own Azumarill. So I know that the Shadow Alolan Dugtrio is going to be an absolute beast against that Steelix, and I'm not super worried about the Fire Fang Salamence. My main concern here is taking down this Giratina. I don't think I really need switch advantage as much because I do have those two solid answers to their lead, but I also don't know what their third Pokemon is yet. That Steelix is such a cool pick with the Giratina. It covers a lot of its weaknesses, and my opponent switches in the Steelix now, and it allows me to go into my Dugtrio and get some usage out of this Pokemon. I like having Salamence with shields up. I think it's a better closer than something like the Dugtrio, because if there is a Turtonator or, I don't know, some other kind of Mud Slapper, it could be really devastating if that's your last Pokemon left. But Salamence still has play. We get off a couple of Mud Slaps there. In comes a Giratina. I'm gonna throw an Iron Head. This is a Stab Iron Head from the stupidest looking Pokemon in the meta. And oh my gosh, it almost one-shots that Giratina. We're gonna throw a Mud Bomb. I wish we could have gotten a second Iron Head against this Togekiss. That would have been super sick. It would absolutely have one-shotted, but we gotta settle for what we have. Togekiss building up a lot of energy here. Forced to shield the Salamence. This is a little bit dicey, right? I think maybe I do need to catch on the Azumarill here. No, actually I stay in a bit too long, and it allows this Togekiss to get to another move. It's Aura Sphere, it KOs me. I come in with the Azumarill. I have the Ice Beam ready. I just need to avoid getting caught on. Opponent tries to catch, and we wait it out, which allows us to get the Ice Beam into the Togekiss. Honestly, when I was playing this, I thought that the match was all over. When I lost my Salamence there, I thought the game was over, but we were able to salvage it. Next battle here. Salamence lead into Azumarill. This matchup with shields in play is actually very competitive, and I love that about Fire Fang Shadow Salamence. You can see the damage as well. We're actually piling it on the Azumarill, and we put it about, I don't know, maybe like an Ice Beam's worth of damage if we're comparing this Fire Fang damage to the mirror match of the Azus. And my opponent's staying in as well. They might actually bank a move before they swap, and because they stayed in so long, I'm just gonna throw the Play Rough. One of the mistakes I used to make is I used to go up to like 8 or 9 bubbles before throwing, but honestly, you do not want to go over because the bubble is 11 energy every time. You get up to 99, and then throwing another bubble after that, you're only getting, what, 1 energy out of 11? It's a total waste. So when you're in those long form mirror matches, watch out for that. Giratina, altered form, hits the field, ancient power, no boost, which is really nice. Ice Beam here from our Azumarill. Should KO this Pokemon, and they shield actually. I'm gonna go back into the Salamence. I'm just gonna combo play immediately with the Brutal Swing. This is more than enough to KO at this range. Opponent does fall. Coming back with the Azumarill. This Azumarill is within fly range actually, which is really nice. We're gonna go ahead and shield the Ice Beam here. Azumarill is such a wedge, it's such a good Pokemon. I use it on my team, but in this cup, and I think across the meta in general, it's really punished by its slow pacing. I mean, 15 and 18 turns for its Ice Beam and Play Rough respectively is really tough in the current meta when things feel like they're faster than ever. Brutal Swing. Oh, actually gets shielded, and I swap into my Azumarill to try to soak a charge attack, but the opponent holds energy very well. I get 3 bubbles into the Shadow Excadrill, and I'm trying to debate what to do. I come in with the Salamence, 1 Fire Fang into the Brutal Swing. This actually is gonna do a lot of damage. It's actually gonna hurt quite a bit. And it does KO. So now we have a full health Shadow Alolan Dugtrio in the back. Opponent fires the Ice Beam here, but it doesn't matter because 2 Mud Slaps later, we get the knockout and we win the game. So Shadow Alolan Dugtrio didn't even really need to get used. That was actually insane. Next battle against another Scizor. These steel leads, I'm telling you, Salamence just eats them up. Oh my gosh, and this is the RPS potential of this team as well. Opponent swaps in Dedenne, and we have the perfect answer, but this is a fragile Shadow Pokemon. Look at this. Play Rough takes us into the red, which is devastating. And I know that I can withstand the 2 bullet punches, so I'm trying to decide if I should throw immediately or if I should just go for the Mud Slap. We go for the Mud Slap. Look at this Mud Bomb, everyone. Look at this Mud Bomb. Look at this Scizor. Look at this Mud Bomb. Bow! Out of here. Oh my goodness, that is an insane amount of damage. Opponent comes in with the Togekiss now, and this game is over, right? I mean, in order for them to win, I would need something like a Shadow Laron in the back that they can hit for double super effective with the Aura Sphere after they get through the Salamence, but it's just not gonna happen, right? There's just no way. I'm gonna go ahead and spam on some Fire Fangs though and try to take these shields, make this battle close, and then I think you know what's gonna happen when I bring out the Azumarill, right? Side Shot gets shielded again. The Fire Fangs are adding up. I actually contemplated just going for the full Fire Fang down there, but I throw the Brutal Swing instead. Opponent shields, and they're just 1 Fire Fang away from being KO'd. We come with the Azumarill, and that's all she wrote. So, very clean. Dugtrio put in some work, absolute work. Another Scizor! It's so good. It's like hitting a slot machine every time you play this Salamence and you lead into a Bug Steel, whether it's Scizor or even the Forretress. Opponent comes with another Water Fairy that I don't see too often anymore. This is Tapu Fini with access to the Nature's Madness. This Pokemon's pacing is a little bit different. I'm gonna try to throw the move card up on the screen. I try to throw at least 1 move card from all of my opponent's teams from each battle, but not all 3, because I want you to be able to absorb just 1 move set at a time. I feel like it's easier and less overwhelming. So I'll try to get that up on screen for you. Shout out to Yankujina, as always, for all the incredible cards he makes. Gonna go for the Play Rough here into the opposing Water and Fairy type Tapu Fini. Does take the shield. At this juncture, I do think that a Nature's Madness would KO. If not, it's gonna be very close. I let it through, Azumarill goes down, and I come in back with the Salamence. Now, because I'm a dragon, I am resisting these water guns, but I do not want to shield anything here. I think if you throw a Surf, I probably need to shield. So I just go for a cheeky Brutal Swing to pick up the KO. And this is actually a double Water Fairy team. I didn't even realize this. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. But check out this fly, everybody. Fly, stab, coming down, bam! That does honestly like 40% or 45% to the Azumarill. That's crazy. I swap in, try to catch a Play Rough, but we catch an Ice Beam instead, which is really sucks. They come back in with the Scizor, but it's not a big deal, right? Because 2 more Fire Fangs, we're gonna pick up the KO here. We do have to shield the Night Slash, of course, but the question is, can we pace up to another fly to KO the Azumarill, win this game? 1, 2, and we got it. Absolutely insane. Shadow Salamence has been a big surprise. I was actually working on some battles with Aegislash. I sourced them from Elo de Colo. I know everyone says Elo de Colo, but I sourced them from Elo de Colo's stream. And yeah, he also plays the Shadow Fire Fang Salamence. That was a 5-0 with this Fire Fang Salamence. The next few battles I'm gonna show you are just kind of my first set. I make a couple more mistakes in this set, but let's see if we can learn something. Leading into an opposing Shadow Fire Fang Salamence, or Shadow Salamence with Fire Fang, however you want to say it. Gonna go for the Brutal Swing here. These Shadow attack stats are always a little tricky. You assume they're gonna be a bit higher than a purified, or excuse me, than a wild caught Pokemon, just because Shadows, you can't be quite as selective with the IVs. And I don't know if I'm gonna win the Charge Attack Party or not, but I'm gonna go for it and just see what happens. And it looks like we did actually win it. So I'm not gonna show you my Salamence IV, so quit asking, all right? Quit asking, everyone. Now we have the Azumarill. This is feeling like a total mirror match, which is pretty surprising, and the opponent did a great job absorbing that damage on the Azumarill. I think they caught, it wasn't a charge type priority. Play rough, connects. I'm gonna go for my own play rough here. I'm assuming, if they're thinking the way I'm thinking, telepathically, there's gonna be a Mud Slapper in the back, but I honestly don't know if that's the case. Fantasy Cup feels limited, but there is a surprising amount of variability in this meta. I feel like with every meta, a lot of people say, oh, it sucks, it's awful, and then you have the other half of the crowd saying, oh, I love this meta, it's so good. So I think there's something for everyone there, and I do like, oh, we both try to catch at the same time. Opponent comes in Jirachi, so they've got another steal, but I have my Mud Slapper, so I do think there's hope here. Remember though, Jirachi does get access to Aura Sphere, and normally if this was the Doom Desire or the Psychic, I would not shield, no chance, no way, but I have to shield because the Aura Sphere would have absolutely annihilated us. Coming out with the Salamence, gonna go for the Mud Bomb here. This will KO if it connects. Opponent shields. Oh, and it's on 1 HP, but I think it's gotta move. Oh my goodness, this trainer outplayed the heck out of me. They've got a 1 HP Salamence, they've got the fly. Azumarill gets out of here, and that is a GG. So the opponent did play that really, really well. I think the catch of the Brutal Swing onto their Azumarill was really nice. And then the way they played the Jirachi obviously was very good. Game number 2, we're gonna go ahead and lead our Fire Fang Shadow Salamence per usual, this time into Azumarill. I'm gonna swap on the move here. This is something I saw Elo Decolo doing quite a bit in his own battles. And now we see Dedenne. This team is a little soft to Dedenne, especially if we cannot pick it up on the swap with our Shadow Alolan Dugtrio. So I know it's gonna take 2 moves anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Ice Beam and see if my opponent allows me to get to a second charge tag. They probably won't, but we're gonna see what we can pull off. Nope, they do not, which is fine. I think we have to reveal the rest of our team though at this juncture, because I don't want to give up a shield and I want to get this Dedenne off the field. Opponent does get to another move. I think this is another Parabolic, but let's find out here. Dugtrio, yes, Parabolic Charge. I mean, it's resisted, but it does so much damage. This is going to be a neutral Iron Head though, and this move will connect, taking that Azumarill down into the yellow. Opponent, they quit. They quit. I don't know. Maybe they had a Bug Bite Forretress or a Scizor in the back, or Ferrothorn. I don't know. Maybe. Speaking of Ferrothorn, next battle we get the Shadow Giratina altered form. I did some Fire Fang damage, and I'm almost wondering if this Giratina is within 1 play rough worth of damage to knock out. Maybe that plus the bubbles. I don't know. Maybe. And you do see me shielding these Giratina sometimes because I am scared of what's it called, Shadow Force, that really hard hitting ghost type attack on the Giratina. I am a little worried about that because I think that would absolutely wreck whatever it hits. We go for a great, oh my gosh, trying to get a surgical undercharge on this Giratina altered form, and we come really close to getting the triple bubble down before they get the Shadow Sneak, but alas, they get it. I think this is yeah, I really don't have a choice, right? Because my opponent, I need the Salamence on this thing, and if I swap now into the Salamence, I lose that advantage and all that damage, and the opponent actually throws a Power Whip before I can get to my second Ice Beam, right? Actually on the charge tag priority. It's a little bit surprising. Coming with the Salamence, their final Pokemon is, oh no, it's their own Salamence, and I think I'm screwed here, you guys. I can't get to a move on the Dugtrio, and I'm running out of fuel, so maybe, right? If we're being unbiased here, we would say that maybe Shadow Salamence is weak to Shadow Salamence. Maybe it's weak in the mirror, who knows? Because I have struggled against the Shadow Salamence teams that I've seen so far in the second set. So keep that in mind, keep that in mind. We move on though, next battle. Biscuit ain't for jam. I disagree, but here we are. They're gonna lead Azumarill. I can't remember if I actually like to throw the fly more often or if I like to swap into my own Azumarill. I think I'm gonna swap again, and I catch. Works again, every time. 60% of the time, it works every time. Opponent comes in with Dedenne. This is another double fairy team, which we did see earlier on in the video as well. I think we lost to that team if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see if we can right the ship here against this one. Gonna go for the Ice Beam. Like I said, I'm only gonna get, like I said, it's gonna take 2 charge attacks regardless, and I know the play rough is just slightly more energy, so maybe I can get away with it, but no, my opponent does not allow me to. Just like last time, I'm gonna be forced to show the Dugtrio here, but I'm gonna try to shield and try to move the pieces around just a little bit more. I know it was bad timing, but I wanted to get off the play rough. I don't think my opponent's that scared though. Yeah, because they can just no shield it and now they can Thunder Shock down. So I don't know. Probably not the best strategy there. I just wanted this Dedenne a little bit weaker, and it pays off because they're able to double Mud Slap down. They come in with the Scizor, and I'm able to throw on good timing the Mud Bomb. Hold on, chat. We might be cooking. We might be cooking here. Mud Bomb does pick up the KO. They come in with the Azumarill. Wait, I think there's a win condition here. Because if I throw, I bank the Iron Head, and the opponent quits. They know they can't win that game because I have all that energy on the Shadow Alolan Dugtrio, and I could easily go for the back-to-back flies there. Maybe not easily, but we could figure it out. Next battle, we're gonna see Azumarill in the lead. I think this is the last battle of the game, so if you're still here watching Fire Fang Shadow Salamence content, let me know down in the comments below. Sorry, a little tongue-tied in this video. They come in with a Volt Switch Forretress. Oh my gosh, yeah. I definitely wish that I had my Salamence lined up against this. It's not as good, obviously, as like the Scizor, but still, those double super effective Fire Fangs rip through these Bug Steels. Opponent's gonna go for a move here. I assume it's a Rock Tomb, and it is. Gonna go up for a little more energy. Opponent actually throws, which is really nice, because it means that I can probably come in here with my Salamence and just farm down, but they leave me on 1 HP. Very clever there. I don't know if that was an undercharge. It might not have been, but that was very clever because it gives them one more Volt Switch, but I still am able to get the triple Fire Fang down. Opponent comes in with a Azumarill, and what I really love about Shadow Salamence here is that getting that slight energy lead kind of resets this matchup. It makes this matchup way more palatable, way more manageable, and honestly, after that Fly Connect, this Azumarill is within Brutal Swing range, which is something I never thought I would say, but here we are. I'm gonna farm some extra energy. You know what? I'm gonna punish that Azumarill hardcore for that slow pacing. They come in with Heatran, a Pokemon that I really love. I have a Hundo Heatran. It's one of the first Hundo legendaries I ever got, and I love it because it burns up the bug and grass type rockets, but it is not gonna do well in this matchup. Brutal Swing does not take the shield, but a double super effective Mud Slap will seal the game. Shadow Fire Fang Salamence, or Shadow Salamence with Fire Fang, however you wanna say it. Incredible Pokemon, really fun in the Fantasy Cup. I'm almost sad that the Cup is leaving on Tuesday, but so is life. Hopefully it comes back. It's definitely one of the best metas that Niantic / Scopely has ever come up with, and I can't wait for it to return. But that being said, I can't wait for you to return either. See you in the next video, and have a great day.